Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Tip Off. Y'all know who I am, your host, Iceman the Eskimo, and I got my boy on here today. We gonna talk some
Yeah,
Nets sports. You heard? Bigfanbrezzy, what's good, my dude?
chilling, man. Just happy to be here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right, let's get into it. We're gonna talk this basketball talk for all the fans out there. The first question I got for you, I've been hearing a lot of stuff. Do you think fans are ever satisfied with the players on the team? Because I hear a lot of things about it's not just one Ben Simmons. I hear about Cam Thomas. I hear about Nick Claxton. I hear about Noah Clowney. Like dudes want certain guys just off the team. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't think fans are just satisfied. What's your take on that?
Yeah, no, some of that is a microwave experience from fans to players, but I think that's based on the culture that the front office is developing. They got to give us players that we could, win and lose with. You know what I mean? Stop trading players after 1 or 2 seasons. Let us see the ups and downs and just try to find a core that the front office could believe in and the head coach can coach. And I think they would get more loyalty from the fans that way, opposed to saying I like this player, that player. Because to your point, as soon as we don't like a player, they'll be like, trade them, put them in a trade package. You know what I mean? All type of trade packages come out of nowhere. So I'll be pushing back versus the trade packages sometimes because you gotta, you know what I mean? Find that core to say, all right, well, we're gonna win and lose with these guys, and we're gonna build off of that.
Facts. Facts. That is the correct answer for that because it takes time. It takes time to really see exactly who you need. You know what I mean? Who you really can be like, all right, like these couple guys can actually stay on this roster. These, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you could add another one just watching the game all the way through the season. You know what I mean? You can pick maybe like two or three more than what you really think you have. And I think you're right. Fans are too quick to just, all right, like he having three bad games in a row, like get him out of here. Like, yo, like, like relax. You know what I mean? Y'all,
Yeah,
y'all, y'all need to
I
chill.
wanted to, I wanted to ask you something, Iceman, because I know you be following the G League roster a lot. So,
Yeah, you
just far as rosters, like, what do you feel about certain players from the G League making the roster, like Noah Clowney last season and Jalen Wilson last season? Because remember, Noah Clowney didn't come in hot. He didn't have a good summer league, but he wound up being one of the
right.
players that's in the rotation for this season. So that's to your point. We can't just be giving up on these players immediately. We might not even like Noah Clowney or Jalen Wilson if that was the case. You know what I'm saying? They was players that we seen progress from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. So my question to you is, because I know you follow the G League, right? You watch those players.
Yep. Yep. I watch them.
Um,
I watch them.
So, what do you think about some of those players making rotation with everything going on this season? Do you want to see anybody from the G League make the rotation?
So right now, well, I think they only played 3 games, right? So right now, there is somebody that stands out, and his name is, I believe, is Ty Lawson, right? He came from Dallas. He didn't stay on their main roster. Went down to the G League, and we picked him up this offseason. So watching him, and he's a wing player. I want to say he's like 6'7". He's down there flying down court, shooting shots, dunking. You know what I mean? He's doing a damn thing. So when fans frown upon players, you got to give it time to see what they can blossom to. Like as you said, Noah Clowney, we was like, yo, like yo, they picked up this guy. You know, like they for real picked up this guy. Like there were other options on the board, and then you see him
Right, I
catch up.
remember.
Yeah, you see him catch up. You see him going to G League. He put in his work. He adjusted, and once he adjusted, then you're like, oh, this dude kind of talented, right? Like, yo, he actually got some skills. You know what I'm saying? Now, what else can he develop to? And that's why the G League is somewhat important to some players because They need that time. Another person who we have actually made a roster, Tyrese Martin. He's been in the league, I think 3 years. I think this is fourth year now that he's actually made it on the NBA roster. Right? He was on someone's main roster, but then he ended up being in G League, and he took the time to get better, and he actually made the Nets roster. And I seen the growth from him because I watched a lot of his film, and I just knew like, all right, this is the type of guy that is definitely going to make the roster because you see his skill set, you see what he can do. Another person, Keon Johnson, two of them is on our roster, right? Went down there, put in work, and you seen the growth. And Keon said, the G League help him to understand the game. It slowed down. When he first got to the league, he was doing rushing everything, trying to get to this spot, trying to get to that spot. So actually playing down there, taking the time to grow, he said it now is slowing down. And you see how he plays on our roster. He get to where he got to get to, take his
Yeah,
time. It doesn't look rushed. That's what the G League is actually for. If you can find a diamond in a rough coming out of the G League like Keon and Tyrese Martin, that's what you look for. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So hold on. All right. So let's talk about Keon Johnson for a second. Well, for one, I want to say that I like Keon Johnson. I watched him in the summer league, and I'm glad he's in a rotation from the start of the season. And from the start of the season till now, I didn't. I would say his player development is the three ball. I thought he was a volume shooter in the summer league, and they was letting it fly. And I didn't see him knocking it down a lot. But I cringe every time he take a 3-pointer. But
Right.
he's as of recent, I've been no lie, Iceman. I was seeing Keon Johnson knocking it down, and a lot of fans might not know that the G League be doing better than the Nets. You know what I'm saying? And the Brooklyn Nets, the Long Island Nets was hooping. They was going to like the conference finals and all of that. So I was just always, you know what I mean, especially because of Iceman, and I follow your content. Tapped in with the Long Island Nets because you know what I mean. There's somebody hooping. You know what I mean? For them to be playing that well, and I think Keon Johnson was one of those players. So I was kind of happy he made the rotation, and I'm happy he didn't. Um, is in the rotation, and I like that the Nets are using like a farm system where they get players from the Long Island Nets to come up and play. You know what I'm saying? With the Brooklyn Nets, I think that's a good look.
Yes, it is because you wouldn't know, right? You wouldn't know. You're like, oh, we got to hit the draft or maybe free agency, and they got players down there with skills. Like the team down there right now is skilled, but some of them are still rushing. Some of them are still learning. Some of them haven't got it all together yet, but the talent is definitely in there. Fans do not be fooled by the G League, right? The
Facts.
Nets do pretty good with their scouting for talent. It's just if the guys can put it together and show that they are worth an NBA roster spot. So don't sleep. Yes, Keon Johnson. Only thing Keon Johnson, when I watched G League last year, they were saying that he needed to work on his defense a little bit more, and they thought that was the reason why he couldn't get on the NBA floor. You know what I mean? But everything else, he was athletic. He could shoot. He worked on his 3-point shot, as you noticed. He could create a little bit, and he's hella athletic. You know what I mean? He's hella athletic. So with all that, when the game slowed down for him, then you seen him go to work. He had plenty of big scoring games down in the G League, 30 points, 25, 6 rebounds, stuff like that. So you know what I mean? It helps the player, and you gotta be patient with these guys. Not everybody comes into the league and just be like, I'm a star. 'Cause it sometimes it just don't work like that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. To kind of um, um, to add to the Keon Johnson conversation, I just wanted to say I want to see him do the same thing Mac McClung did. Remember that dude that player that came from the G League and he wound up making a 76er roster because he went to the dunk contest?
Yep.
You know, with Keon Johnson having the most bounce in the NBA, they said that he got the highest vertical.
Yes.
So let
48.
him get in a dunk contest. If he get in that dunk contest, I think his popularity will rise. and I think
Yep.
he'll get an NBA. I think he'll get a better NBA contract than he has right now. What about you, Iceman? Do you think that he should go to the slam dunk contest this season?
Definitely. It's gotta be a given. When you have a 48-inch vertical, yo, and you see how he jumps,
Funny.
it looks effortless. Like, you know what I mean? I jump, I'm gonna get higher than you regardless. You know what I mean? Like it's effortless for him. And he's got enough talent to do magic in the air like Mac McClung. You know what I mean? He might be even a better dunker. You know what I mean? Because he gets higher. You know what I mean? So there's no telling what he can do like in a real open court. He hasn't got like a real fast break when he could just, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
take
I
off
ain't seen him do no
anywhere.
windmills.
Right. He hasn't got that opportunity yet. So I'm hoping that he does get a chance and everybody sees like, oh, this guy has major, major bounce. You know what I mean? Like he does need to be in the dunk contest.
Yeah, that'd be exciting, Iceman. I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe me and you should take part of this this part right here and clip it and know what I'm saying send it to the Brooklyn Nets or whoever in charge. You know what I mean? They need our help anyway. Last All Star break was trash.
Super trash. Super. They lost ratings and everything.
Word.
Terrible.
As a matter of fact, every you see the state of the NBA and how they say they losing viewership. I feel like
Yeah.
that's where it started last season. It started last season because of the All Star game, and they scored all of those points, and fans was not happy. Like, nah, y'all just running up the score now. So maybe if they fix the All Star break with Keon Johnson can save the NBA right now, man. Keon Johnson can save the NBA.
Yeah, because they need someone other than like Matt McClung from the G League. You know what I mean? They need the real guys to go in there and do dunk contests and 3-point shooting, and you know what I'm saying. Your all stars need to play like all stars. You know what I mean? And stop jogging and shooting 3-point shots from half court. Like I could do this. You know what I mean? It's good to see that y'all got the skill, but they want to see y'all play. You know what I'm saying? The best against the best, East versus West, how it used to be. That's what fans are looking for.
No, facts, facts. One more question for you before we leave the All Star game. Cam Thomas hit 7 3 pointers the other night. You think he should be in the 3 point contest? Oh,
Woo!
I'm scratching it. Talk to me though. Talk to me.
Woo! Nah, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I think he gonna have to hit a lot more at a high clip like he is hitting though, because if he is hitting a constant 6 or 7 a game, it's possible that he could be in it. You know what I mean? Like he really gotta. Those guys that be in the 3-point contest, they be knocking down the 3 pointers at a very high clip, and that's all they do. You know what I mean? They like most of the guys in there be specialists for the most part. So you know what I mean? I think he would have to knock them down at a really, really high clip. If he takes 6 or 7 a game, or shit, maybe 8, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm all for it though.
Yeah, I'm before this video over, I'm gonna look at the stats and see who the leading 3 point attempts and the leading 3 point shot makers this season because I think I'm glad we having this conversation because he gotta be how many hold on, how many people get in the 3 point contest, Iceman? How many shooters?
Shit, I don't even remember how
It
many
starts with
shooters.
10, then it's 6 or something like that.
Something like that. It's some, yeah, 8 to 10 maybe. You know what I mean?
All right, I know that's all I wanted to ask you, Iceman. Talk to me though.
All right. So now we're gonna get to your guy. We already on your guy right now, Cam Thomas. So we gonna keep it right here on Killer Cam Thomas. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna ask you, for fans who are not Cam Thomas fans, because there are fans that's definitely not Cam Thomas fans. Call
Right.
the guy a chucker. He, you know what I'm saying? They only see him as a chucker. Can you speak on his development and what he's shown in these last games?
Yeah, I think he's shown for one efficiency. He showed that he could be a volume shooter, and he's shooting at a high clip 9 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? When I say a high clip, I'm talking high 40% or better. or 50% or better. There's one game he was 6 for 10. He had 17. The last game he was 16 for 22 and had 43. So you know what I'm saying. He's shooting over 50% in these cases. So I'm saying I'd say one game had 10 shots. That's not a lot, but he was 6 for 10. That's 60%. Another game he took a lot of shots. That's 22. He was 16 for 22. That's 43. So he's a very impactful scorer. You know what I mean? You could implement him in the offense in a subtle way where he's getting 10 shots and he'll fit in seamlessly and hit big shots at the end of the game because, Jordi Fernandez like to play him big minutes in the fourth quarter. He usually comes in like around 7 minutes into the game, so he's fresh for that. But in the situation where Johnson couldn't score early, we went to Cam Thomas early and often last game, and he scored 19 points in the first quarter. So I think Cam Thomas is instrumental in being able to fit in the offensive flow seamlessly. Or I just gave that's one example, and or second example, we can run the offense through him in the beginning of the game, and I think the 19 points prove that. So I think him having these bad relationships with the coaches shows that this season he's very coachable. He had a bad outing with Nash. We heard a lot of DNPs and from Nash and Jock Vaughn, and people wondered was it because of this that because of his play and him playing the other side of the ball and why he was getting the DNPs and etc. This season we could see that Jordi Fernandez says if you don't guard, you don't play. So Cam Thomas has to play the other side of the ball and do the other things so that way he could get the touches he wants to develop into a star, emerging star, a rising star, a superstar, or whatever you want to call him. Because in my opinion, he's on the brink of it. So
All right.
yeah, I like his development this season. It's been awesome.
All right. So would you say, right? Would you say that Jordi Fernandez is actually getting the best and helping Cam Thomas the most with his development?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think Jordi Fernandez is no nonsense. Style of coaching is the success of Cam Thomas because it shows if you take one step towards me, I'll take two steps towards you. You know what I mean? Jordi Fernandez has prioritized defense before the season even started. Excuse me. He got a chance to play. Coach as a national head coach. Uh, and you know what I'm saying. So he was part of a fast-paced offense with the Sacramento Kings. Um, so I think the experience that Jordi Fernandez got is respected by a Cam Thomas, and because he'll even bench Cam Thomas if he see Cam Thomas, lacking on the defensive side of the ball. I've seen Cam Thomas make mistakes and he gets subbed out the game.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like somebody like a coach like that who gives you the freedom to become the superstar in real time. I think Cam Thomas has a lot of respect and gives a lot of respect to Jordi Fernandez for the opportunities that he's given him, and I think that resonates not only with Cam Thomas but the locker room.
Facts. Facts. And now we're gonna stay right on that topic because I seen him take my guy out the game too. Ben 10 Simmons. I seen him sit Ben. He's not playing no games with these guys, bro. He done sat Ben Simmons down too for his mistakes and stuff like that. So to your point, he will give you the freedom to score, he will give you the freedom to pass, but you cannot keep making the same mistakes because you will sit down. You know what I mean? Like it's no if ands or buts about it. You know what I
You
mean?
funny as hell, I swear. Yeah, he said you will sit down.
It's facts. That's I fact. It's facts for everybody. It's facts. He's sitting players down if you don't follow the rules. But speaking of my guy Ben 10, we're gonna move on to Ben 10, right?
All
So
right.
there are fans, as I was talking about earlier, there's fans that want to resign Ben Simmons, right? There's fans that can't stand Ben Simmons, right? And from my point of view, Ben helps certain players. He has a specialty, and it's passing. That's his specialty. The speed and the passing is his specialty. Open court stuff like that. And I don't think certain fans understand how much easier, if you watch these games, how much easier he makes it for Keon Johnson or Jalen Wilson or even a Noah Clowney, right? I don't think they understand like having a point forward slash point guard that could run that speed and help the younger guys understand certain things. Like I said, I seen Jordy say Ben gave Noah Clowney a pass, and I talked about it on my last episode with Leaf. Shout out to Leaf, that Noah Clowney wasn't ready and he didn't know what to do. He got stuck because Ben was looking for him twice, and the pass came as soon as he turned, like the ball was right there in his chest, and he didn't make a move or he didn't shoot it. So the next game, Ben did the same thing. Hit him in the corner, hit him in the corner. This time he was ready to shoot. And the last time that Ben came down and threw it to him again, he wasn't ready. And Noah apologized to Jordy, like, I gotta be better. I gotta when I'm playing with Ben, I gotta be on P's and Q's because the ball will be coming at any second, and I wasn't ready for it. So with me hearing that tells me that he's helping the guy's IQ to stay alert at all times. You can't fall asleep on the court when you have a pass first point guard. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
what do you think about that part of Ben?
I think as a professional, I think it's very professional to take that bench role. You know, Ben Simmons, say what you want about him, but you got to respect his professionalism. You know, he number one pick, first round, number one pick. He's seen the highs and lows of the NBA. He's seen the fans back him, support him, didn't turn on him. You know, this entire time he's remained professional. I don't know if the Brooklyn Nets should give him a contract. I
Mm-hmm.
think that Ben Simmons should definitely consider how many games he's played
Mm-hmm.
for what he's asking for. And granted, all of the great things that he brings when he's available. The question is how available. And if you build in a fan base with the Brooklyn Nets,
Mm-hmm.
and the Brooklyn Nets is the franchise that, you know what I'm saying, basically let you stay here until you was healthy. And, you know, even if you got fans that you feel some type of way, you got fans that support you. And I'm not going to say don't give him a contract. I was against him getting a contract, but after seeing him in these few games, I got to give him credit. I don't want to stay steadfast being wrong. I don't want to be wrong and strong. You know what I mean? I gotta
Right,
push
right,
back on some of the stuff that I said and keep it honest and say he has been playing well. In my opinion, he can move his feet in front of every player, but he has trouble jumping to contest the shot. Other than that, I think he's been more of a
facts.
plus than a minus from this season. I don't know if I would give him a contract yet, but and I don't expect him to
Mm-hmm.
play more than 41 games. I expect him to play 35 to 41 games, and if he does that, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't. It takes a lot to stay healthy for any NBA player. They got an award for playing 82 games. It's called the Iron Man Award because it's very rare that it happens in this league. It's very hard to be a professional to play 82 games. I mean, it's a professional sport. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I'm considerate to the surgeries Ben Simmons went through, and I'm happy with for what he brings to the team. I just if I just wanted to be a contract friendly contract if he does get one, and but I'm not opposed to him getting one as of now.
All right, all right. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. I am the same. I'm a Ben fan. Everybody know I'm a Ben fan, but I don't see him getting no type of big contracts because he's not back to himself, and I can clearly everyone can see he's not back to himself. He still has a little bit of stuff, and I still see him building upon his offense. I don't think fans realize that he's mega rusty on offense. Last game was the first time I seen the running hook since last year. You know what I mean? So I seen him try to Euro step. He kind of stuttery, lose his step, lose the ball. So I'm like, okay, I know he's rusty. So he needs time. And if Brooklyn was to give him a contract next year, it would it probably be a small contract. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, for sure.
we gonna move on. We gonna we gonna move off Ben, and we gonna get on the team dynamics. Right? There's a
Yeah.
lot of things that I've been paying attention to in team dynamics right now that's been going on that I really don't think fans actually pay attention to. So I'm gonna ask you about the starting lineup, and then I'm gonna ask you about the bench because I see things that works, and then I see things that don't work. Right? Starting lineup with Dennis and Ben, and then starting lineup with Dennis and Claxton. You tell me what you see and what you think.
Um, Dennis and Ben. I see Dennis getting downhill, and Dennis, in my opinion, he's a willing passer, but he's a score first guard. And if Ben Simmons and Dennis Schroeder, if Ben Simmons and Dennis Schroeder is in the starting lineup, I want Dennis Schroeder to do just that. Because Ben Simmons is a pass first guard, point forward, as you said.
Right.
Um, but with Clax, I like it, but I like Schroeder and Ben more because they fit more into their natural roles when they next to each other. I don't think Ben Simmons likes the P and all that much. I think he likes to pick, and I think he's the P and P. He likes to pick and pass. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But he don't necessarily like to pick and roll.
Right.
So that takes a major part of what Claxton does away because he likes to roll to the basket and he needs to be. Remember, Iceman, 2 seasons ago, he had won that award for his field goal percentage. He was averaging
Yeah.
like 70+% in the paint, and I think Harden was our point guard at the time. So, case in point is he needs to be around the rim. He's a rim runner. He's comfortable there. He found the home there, and Ben Simmons can find him more if he would play downhill and maybe shoot the ball more like Jordi Fernandez acts. So I like I like Schroeder and Ben on the floor more than I like Ben and Clax, but I do like Ben and Clax together more. I just need to see more actions. I need to see more pick and rolls between them. I need to see more, maybe even screens and fake handoffs between them, but something. Give
Yeah.
me something as a fan. Yeah, right now they just doing cardio together for the most part. So that's my take on it, though. What about you, Iceman?
All right. So yeah, I like I like I like Schroeder and Claxton. Right. I like Schroeder and Claxton. I like Ben on off the bench. Right. I like Ben off the bench. But I'm gonna say this about what you was talking about with the pick and roll. Right. There's two. There's the way I explain it is two different styles of pick and roll with Ben. Ben does a pick and hold and then roll. Right. If he feels like you don't have a shot and he's holding your man back, then he would run up to the basket. And Nick Claxton does a pick and then immediately trying to beat your man to the basket so he can get the lob. And and I think that's the different dynamics with them two. And Ben more looks for you to score on your ISOs, right? If you don't got it, then I got it. I'll try to get there. You know what I'm saying? If you don't got the isolation play. Or sometimes they're actually clogging the lane, but they know Ben is going to try to run down, and they do the same thing for Nick. So I think it's just two different styles and trying to get the understanding of when I'm with Ben, he's going to hold my guy back. So let me operate and see if I can get to a spot and score or wait. And then with Nick, as soon as he picks, I gotta look for the bounce pass or throw the lob immediately because he's running. You know what I mean? Because that's his specialty. That's how he scores. And like you said, Ben likes to pick and pass. If he get a if you give him a bounce pass, he's looking to throw it to the wing. You know what I mean? And get the three. So
Yeah.
that's what I think. So I'm gonna ask you about another player, Zaire, in the
Mm.
starting lineup, and Zaire off the bench. Like which and Dorian out. If you got Claxton and Zaire, do you like uh Claxton and Zaire, or do you like Ben on the bench with Zaire?
I think Zaire played his way into the starting role. I think he was great off of the bench, but I don't like him behind Jalen Wilson. And this not a disrespect to Jalen Wilson, but he's just outplaying Jalen Wilson. I thought
Hmm.
Jalen Wilson. I gave Jalen Wilson the edge because I felt like he had solid defense and he could knock down the three ball, and he had a better offense than Zion Williams. I was wrong. I think Zion Williams proved me wrong because he could knock down a three just as much as Jalen Wilson could knock down a three. And I would say their offense is the same far as getting to the basket and Jalen Wilson. There's not much difference. I think both of them are around the same amount level of rebounder. Both of them are good, but Jalen Wilson has good defense and Zion Williamson has solid defense. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I think that's the difference. He's our best perimeter defender, and you can argue him and Ben Simmons. And I would say Zaire because Zaire is going to jump at the end of the play to contest the shot. Ben Simmons won't. Ben Simmons is
Right.
slide the screen and stay in front of you the entire time, but because, in my opinion, he's being cautious, he won't jump intentionally just to make sure he doesn't aggravate that injury. So I think he's the best ISO defender that we have. We've seen examples of that when he guarded Ingram, and I think that last play versus the Knicks, I thought that was Tyre Williams should have guarded Jalen, whatever his name is, man.
Brunson.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, Jalen Brunson. But yeah, so I'm high on Zion Williams, and I did like him off the bench, but I just think it's doing him an unjust. You're not going to get you could get a better Zion Williams son as a player because he earned the spot, and I like that about the Brooklyn Nets. Like I like that Jordi Fernandez said, all right, you're going to start as a bench player. And that was his assuming role. But because of his success when he was in the game, knocking down the three ball and etc., he got more minutes and more opportunities. So I like that too. I like the fact that he went from bench to starting based on his gameplay. And yeah, I'm high on Zion Williams. He's become one of my favorite players on the Brooklyn Nets. Easily in this first 13 games or 11 games or whatnot.
Yep. I agree. I heavily watch film. I do that all day. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm hurt. So I watch film all day. And what I notice is, right, in that starting lineup with him and Claxton, his energy, not that DFS is not a bad player or anything like that. I don't even mind him missing his shots because shooters are going to miss shots regardless. But the type, the hit, Zaire's style of offense elevates the starting lineup offense. Is different because he doesn't have to just sit in the corners, right? You could swing it to him and he could create a little bit, right? It's not like DFS creation. It's a little bit different. He can get to a spot and pull up because he's 6'10", right? He has the midi. He can follow shots off the backboard, off the rim, give you a putback dunk. He can shoot the three as you said, and he can play defense. The only thing about him is he's a slim body guy, right? He ain't that big, but he still plays good defense. And I think that's in order to win more games or to make the offense a little bit better, you got to have guys that can create. So now that Cam Johnson is creating slightly more, and then you still have DFS not creating, I think Zaire, as you said, should be a starter because he can create, and he's 6'10" next to Nick Claxton, and it will help the offense just a little bit more than just having DFS stand in the corner and shoot threes. You know what I mean?
Yo, let me just. I said that or eloquently and all of that.
Right.
He took DFS starting role, bro. Let's just call it what it is, bro. DFS was a starter up until Zion Williamson started playing as good as he did and is. And at the end of the day, if Ben Simmons could go to the bench, bro, DFS could go to the bench too, bro. That's all I'm saying.
You heard? Yo, all right, we're gonna go to the last segment. This is one of my favorite parts of the podcast. When I ask when I ask my guests, tell the fans something that you noticed in these last 3, 4 games that you think that they are not paying attention to, right? Something that they completely just are missing in these last few games that have changed or got better. Anything that you noticed?
Um, well, something that changed or got better, I would say, is the constant the more than two passes before a shot. If you watch the offense last season, if you're a Nets fan and you really was watching the games, you could see a lot of our offense was maybe one pick, one dribble, then a shot. We was putting up 3 pointers with 14 seconds on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the major difference. I think our TOP is way better. I think we are using more time on the clock to get the best available shot. I think last season that was definitely an issue. Spencer Dinwiddie was playing like he didn't want to play there. He wasn't really being a point guard. His lobs was terrible, and I just feel like his pick and roll with Clax was bad. And when it came to Mikal Bridges and specifically Mikal Bridges, he would put up the shot really early. You know what I'm saying? It would be a lot of time left off the shot clock, and when he couldn't find a shot, he would always give it to Cam Thomas and like 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and it's just like expect him to make fucking magic or some shit. Pardon my language. And I think that's the major difference. We not getting as many grenades and to shoot the ball, and we're utilizing the shot clock better so that we could get the most efficient shot opposed to just a 3 point shot.
All right. You heard it here first. I'm gonna give you my take and what I see in these games that has changed or gotten better. Um, the things that I think could get better or gotten better is like we talked about Zaire in the starting lineup. I thought that was better, and I think Ben Simmons going to the bench was also better because the dynamic. If you guys watch the games, when Dennis has to run 2 units and Ben is out, it doesn't operate the same. The team don't move the same. The starting lineup works, and then the bench you don't get too much out of the bench, which means Ben is playing a major part for the young guys on the bench. Zaire's in the starting lineup as DFS is out, and they move differently. The ball moves differently. The team moves differently. Um, Cam Thomas scores differently. Uh, Dennis Schroeder passes differently, and he has more options when you got Zaire on the floor. So Jordy, I think Jordy has an idea and about the lineups, but I think he messed up last game. But I know we don't have any size, so he put Ben in the starting lineup. But I still think if DFS, he should have ran DFS at center and put Zaire in the starting lineup and have Ben still run with the second unit. And then if he needed Ben, he could always switch Ben to the center if needed, if the size isn't working for the playing center. But I think Ben needs to stay with the second unit to give them that boost because I think he does give them like someone like Jalen Wilson. Jalen
Right.
Wilson running the break, getting shots, quick early shots, transition shots. Keon doing the same, getting downhill, or he's pointing out where to go to on the floor when he's on in transition with the guys, and they're slowing down, waiting for him to like start the offense over. I think that helps that group understand like when you see me do this, that means go to the basket, bro. Like I'm gonna find you, just cut right here, and I think that makes a difference.
No, absolutely. Good take because I've seen that too. I think he makes getting a defensive rebound dangerous. As soon as he get that defensive rebound, Jalen Wilson, Keon Johnson running the floor, and Keon Johnson is mad fast. One of my favorite plays was that pass from Ben Simmons to Keon Johnson, where Keon Johnson just outran everybody, and Ben Simmons found him. But if you was watching that play, Ben Simmons told him to make that cut. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He kind of like gave him a hand signal. Did you see that? Did you see
Yeah,
him
I
give him
definitely seen that.
Yeah, so yeah, nah, good shit, Eskimo. Because yeah, I did see that as well, and I like the pace of the game when Ben Simmons is in that second unit. I feel like with Cam Thomas and Dennis Schroeder in the starting lineup, they're gonna run more of a half court offense. So
Right.
Ben Simmons gives us that balance. He gives us a how you say, we not one dimensional, we two dimensional because we could either have a half court offense with Cam Thomas and Dennis Schroeder in the backcourt, or we can have a full court offense and we dangerous right off of the defensive rebound with a Ben Simmons. So yeah, both of these are improvements, man. That's just a good take by you guys, man. Facts.
Appreciate it. You heard it here, folks. You know what I mean? The dynamics, which you I don't think y'all noticed. Me and Bigfanbrezzy then laid it out for y'all. And y'all know my motto. Y'all don't have to like, y'all don't have to subscribe because I don't know anything, bro. You heard?
Nah,
And we out.
subscribe, man. Subscribe and like the video, man. For real, we out here pushing content. The fan base is growing because of the tip off the podcast and what Iceman is doing. He heavy on Twitter. If y'all don't know, I started following Iceman on Twitter because he's just really consistent pushing back, Brooklyn Nets content. He's one of my favorite content creators on Twitter. So yeah, man, subscribe to the page, man. We're trying to get them subscribers up, man. Facts. And like the video. Facts.
You heard? And we out.
All right, peace, y'all.
All right.